In a world of change, the sights and sounds of Chicago Bear football remain an enduring constant.
Make sure the assignments. Now, if we're sliding your way, you got to go to the outside. You know who you got, the outside guy. I don't care if it's a linebacker or not, you got him. We'll run some counters and try to see what they look like. They look pretty good in practice, okay? We shouldn't get that much penetration if we're going to stay in that defense.
Let's go, MP. Let's go, Marcus. Let's go, hammer, 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 hammer. Use good judgment back there, okay? Bring it out. No penalties. Everybody get a bus. Let's get the
In motion to the right, here's the handoff, Green.
In 1991, the Bears played the game the way it was meant to be. Single wing simple, leather helmet tough.
The bottom line is, you know, you do whatever you think you have to do to win in this game. I think it's will, conviction. It's all the things that really make you what you are. The people who have the discipline to do what they have to do to really find the happiness and the peace of mind they want in life, that's a magnificent thing. People who are successes make sacrifices. They don't do things the way everybody does them. They do things the way they have to be done to get to the top.
In an age when style is in and substance is out, the Bears stuck to the fundamentals. A blue-collar work ethic that earned them their 7th playoff appearance in 8 years. Chicago and Dallas waged war. And in his first postseason game ever, Jim Harbaugh led the battle. In the end, the Bears lost 17-13. But in a city that loves a good fight and the guy who finishes it, Chicago could still hoist the team up on its broad shoulders and be proud. 1992 promises to be another wild ride, and fans will be out there again to bear down with the Bears.
Bear down, Chicago Bears, because he plays with a way to victory. Is it, phonetically speaking for our audience, is it Bears or Bears? Bears. Bears. What are we asking here? Bears win. This is God's country, my friend.
Oh, I see these little placards that say Da Bears, spelled D-A. That's wrong, my friend. It's not Da Bears, it's Da Bears.
That's right.
Da Bears, T-A-G, Da Bears.
Da Bears.
That's the way it is.
I mean, we're not stupid. We know how to spell.
Gee, get off our back for crying out loud.
Okay, man, let's get together. We got 2 minutes. Just remember what we talked about this week now. Got to have a purpose for everything we do. Let's take a step forward tonight, okay? Let's go out there and play hard. Let's leave it out there. Leave it out there on the field. Let's try to make an improvement in what we've been doing. Try to remember the things we worked on this week, and let's go from there, okay?
Vikings on the rush. Here's the snap. Harbaugh in a tight pocket. Rainbows deep down the right sideline. Waddle, diving, grab! Touchdown! Oh, what a catch! My God!
With an NFL best 8th straight opening day victory at stake, the Bears look to veteran Steve McMichael to make the big play in crunch time and preserve a slim 4-point lead with 1:20 remaining.
Inside the 15, Wilson back to throw. Throws the right side. The ball tipped in the air. Intercepted by Marcus Paul. At the 16-yard line, down he goes. The man who kicked it was Steve McMichael.
On a 90-degree day in Tampa a week later, the Bear pass rush was white hot with a 4-turnover, 8-sack performance. 3 clutch plays made Chicago a 1-point winner on the road.
The snap from Hilgenberg gives to Anderson. Anderson off left guard, cuts it back to the right to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown! Harbaugh looks downfield, drills it over the middle. Touchdown, Anderson! Harbaugh play action to Rouse back to throw. He heaves it deep down left side, going for it. Wide receiver. Davis, touchdown, Bears!
The Bears were 2-0. But on the horizon, an eye-to-eye showdown with the defending world champions.
Look around here. Look each other in the eye.
That's what we're doing, baby. Make sure you're able to do that when this game's over.
Hey,
I'm proud
it's on, man!
Receivers left and right. Harbaugh fakes the handoff, rolls right. Now stops and winds up. Straight on the right side. Wendell Davis over the shoulder. Catches the football. He's going to go all the way. 10-5. Touchdown!
With images of the Luckmans and Tittles and the Butkuses and Huffs serving as a backdrop, the Bears and Giants dueled in another classic. Glenn Kozlowski and the special teams pinned New York deep. And when the Giants knocked on the door, the monsters of the Midway slammed it shut with a stalwart goal line stand. A storied rivalry that has featured 2 playoff meetings in the last 6 seasons brought out the best in Neil Anderson.
Side. Here's the handoff. Anderson sweeping left. Running room. 40. Come on, Neil. Left sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Dives to the pylon. No, he's out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
We have a reversal.
Yeah.
The runner did not step out of bounds.
Since 1925, historians have chronicled these flagship franchises, but with 15 seconds left, the latest chapter was still to be written.
See the snap. Here's the snap. Placement made. The kick is over. Deflected short. No good. It was blocked on the play. Deflected short. And the Bears are going to hang on. William Perry being given credit for getting a piece of the football. Deflecting it short of the mark.
I think this really was truly a great team victory for the Chicago Bears.
It was a victory to be savored. But 8 days later, New York's other team invaded Soldier Field. What transpired on that surreal Monday night could only be described as sheer lunacy.
Don't go in right now. Kicker, you might go in and tell him we don't put Nick. You stay here, Dante.
And O'Brien looks over the defense, takes the snap, hands it off to Blair Thomas. He takes it into the middle of the line, and he's pulled out, loses the football. Yeah! Bears have the football at the 36-yard line. Harbaugh in the shotgun formation. On 4th down, they can't stop it. Here's the snap to Harbaugh. One last play. Looks the end zone, throws the left side. Yeah! Back offense. Harbaugh ducks in under center now. On 2nd down, fakes the handoff to Anderson. Back to throw, rolling right. Harbaugh throws it right side. He's got Campbell to the end. Bears win. The Bears may not have scored a touchdown yet. They're going to check the spot of the ball. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 1-inch line.
Now go for it. Go for it. Go, Jim. Go.
33 seconds to go in overtime. And here's Harbaugh leaping the middle of the line to the end zone. No indication yet. They're going to wait for the pile to unravel.
There it is. There it is.
Finally.
In a game the Bears seemed destined to lose, they found a way to win and were undefeated after 4 games.
What it's all about.
In weeks 5 and 6, Chicago took on 1991 Super Bowl teams. The AFC champion Buffalo Bills and the eventual world champion Washington Redskins, the stiffest of back-to-back tests. The Bears rolled up over 350 yards against the Bills and dominated the Redskins on the stat sheet, yet lost both games. It was time to regroup.
You do what you have to do to win. If it's basic football, if it's running the ball, if it's controlling the clock, if it's short passes, that's what you do. Ultimately, you're going to win because you play good defense, smart special teams, and you don't turn the football over. So, you know, they can play this game for 2,000 more years, and that's still going to be basic stuff. You still have to do certain things.
Like swarming to the ball. Like sacking the passer. Like stuffing the run. Team football. It's forcing turnovers and racing madly downfield on special teams to swing the hammer. Richard Dent's role has always been the same. Sack the quarterback. And for the 7th time, he led the team with 10.5. Dent's relentless rush was the means, and a Donnell Wolford interception was the end. Marcus Paul turned 2nd and long into 3rd and long, enabling John Roper to set the table for a teammate by knifing it up the middle to force a David Tate pickoff. '90 Defensive Rookie of the Year Mark Carrier was rarely tested, and with good reason. A big lick by Tim Ryan or Trace Armstrong meant for an easy pick for Lim Stenson. Whatever it took, a pass from punter Maury Buford or a catch by linebacker Ron Rivera. Ron Cox was pleased to do the stripping, John Mangum the recovery, and all Mike Singletary did was lead the team in tackles, making the Pro Bowl for the 9th straight time. Jim Morrissey chipped in with a theft off former mate Mike Tomczak. Fourth-year hitter Dante Jones left his calling card, while veteran Steve McMichael left so many, he had to open a new deck in perhaps his finest season. Wrecking ball William Perry wore his battle scars with pride as the Bear defense hit stride just in time for a showdown in Lambeau Field. Defense wins games. That axiom was proved once again as Vince Tobin's defense pitched a shutout. James Williams and All-Pro Sean Gale did much of the hitting, and a lone TD pass from Harbaugh to James Thornton was more than enough.
Harbaugh back to throw. Harbaugh drills the right side. Touchdown, Jim Thornton!
The Bears were 5-2, and a 5-game win streak was launched. Way down yonder in New Orleans, the Saints were thinking perfection and revenge. They were undefeated and determined to extend their remarkable streak against the team that beat them in the playoffs last season. It was high drama with high stakes in the Superdome.
Harbaugh takes, hands it off to Muster, bouncing left to the outside. Muster makes the throw to the fire to the end zone. Touchdown!
It wouldn't be easy. It never is. The Bears wouldn't have it any other way. They trailed deep into the 4th quarter. Saints fans were dreaming of 8-0, while Jim Harbaugh was in a 3-and-out nightmare. Chicago needed a spark, and it came from William Perry, who flattened Dalton Hilliard to force a punt. Down by 4, Jim Harbaugh seized the moment. Frustrated for the first 58 minutes, he was brilliant in the last 2. Proving that winning quarterbacks aren't great all the time. They're just great when they have to be.
Bears are on the doorstep now, the 12-yard line of New Orleans.
Jim Harbaugh has thrown 2 pretty nice passes for a guy who's had the worst day of his career.
Shotgun formation, snap to Harbaugh. Rushes on, throws the right side, got Waddle, cutting left to the end zone. Touchdown! Believe it, it's 19-17 Bears.
The Saints are stunned. The Saints defense is on the field, absolutely stunned, and so are we, folks.
Stunning indeed. But there were no tricks, no mirrors, or hidden hands behind the back. Jim Harbaugh simply came of age in a season when his team needed him the most. Some quarterbacks are made for teams. Harbaugh is perfect for Chicago. A no frills, no mistakes, no nonsense leader. He attempted and completed the most passes ever in club history, despite losing receiver Ron Morris for most of the season. But when Morris was hurt, others like Dennis Gentry were eager to pick up the baton. Bear tight ends are block first, catch second brawlers. And with the retirement of Cap Bozo, James Thornton and young Keith Jennings will carry on the tradition. In Neil Anderson and Brad Muster, the Bears possess a 1-2 punch of quickness and power that is the envy of many. Injuries sidelined both, yet the talented tandem still combined for 16 touchdowns. Wendell Davis took his game to another level and led the Bears in catches and receiving yards. But of all the Bears, none fought harder than those up front. Without Jim Covert, Stan Thomas, John Wojciechowski, Ron Mattis, and Mark Bortz reached deep to shore up the left side. Guards Jerry Fontenot and Tom Thayer cut down the timber. Durable Keith Van Horn was strong as ever in his 11th year. And center Jay Hilgenberg snapped his way to his 7th straight Pro Bowl. If the Bears' front line was a powerful locomotive, then scrappy pass catcher Tom Waddle was their little engine that could. Waddle has been cut more times than the fairways at Augusta. And like a dandelion on the 18th green, he seems out of place. Week after week, he made the key catch, only to get mowed down again. Tom Waddle was the cartoon character blown to bits in one scene, who amazingly reappears in the next. He grabbed Peter Tom Willis's only TD pass, scored the first and last touchdowns of the season, and was the only Bear to make a catch in every game. By week 10, the Bears weren't waddling at all. They were racing ahead. They had won 2 in a row and looked to make it 3 against Detroit.
2nd and 10, Bears shotgun formation from the 22 of Detroit. Snap to Harbaugh, looks downfield. Harbaugh throws the left side of the end zone for Wendell Davis, comes back for it, David Brown, touchdown! Snap to Harbaugh, rushes on. Harbaugh has time, steps up, he rolls right, going to take it himself, throws the end zone, touchdown!
The Lions were beaten 20-10. Next up, the Vikings. A Harbaugh to Anthony Morgan touchdown pass and a season-long 50-yarder from Kevin Butler ignited a 34-17 rout and Chicago's 4th straight win.
2nd down. Here's the toss to Anderson, sweeping left, cuts it back right, big hole, 20, 15, straight ahead, 10, 5, touchdown! Untouched! Rich Gannon takes the snap from Kirk Loudermilk, takes the handoff to Walker, throws the left sideline.
The Colts were victim number 5 as Jim Harbaugh stayed hot. And Brad Muster had his first 100-yard game as a pro.
Back from center, under a blitz, over the middle it goes. He's got Brad Muster, takes to the center of the 10, cutting right, gets it back left to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown! Receivers right, left, 3rd and 6 for the Bears. Out of the shotgun, snap to Harbaugh. Throws it over
Adios, amigos.
84-yard gallop.
The Bears were 9-2 and playing their finest football of the season.
This snap was off the mark. This one is high over the head of Buford.
Fate can change as quickly as the snow-filled winds off Lake Michigan. But storms that lay ahead will be weathered by a proven system led by Michael McCaskey, Bill Tobin, and the coach.
And the final analysis is draft the right people, train the right people, and refine them. And you're not going to have a gem in everything, but if you polish that stone enough, it's going to start shining. So, you know, that's what we try to do. We believe in our system enough to draft the right kind of people, character-wise, and then we polish the stone pretty good. And if it's rough, then you hit it with a hammer. You got to knock the edges off.
As a Hall of Famer and 10-year head coach, Mike Ditka was on the edge of yet another milestone.
Harbaugh's second down call. He takes, toss Muster, sweeping right, student body right. Muster cuts it back to the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown!
On December 8th, the Bears crushed the Packers, giving Iron Mike his landmark 100th regular season victory.
Jim Harbaugh ducks in under Jay Hilgenberg. Packers in a blitz. Harbaugh back to throw. Bears pick up the blitz. Rainbow's the right side. Davis in the end zone. Makes a leaping adjustment and makes the catch for the touchdown!
The final win of the season was vintage Bears. Chicago ran the ball, ate up the clock, and shut out the Bucks, 27-0.
Tampa Bay on a second down, back to throw. Carlson in the pocket, holds over the middle, intercepted by Richard Dennis. Jeff dancing inside the 40, dives forward for the 35, and he's got yardage down inside the 35-yard line. High formation backfield, Rouse in motion to the right. Harbaugh takes, give Green a touchdown! Rouse in motion to the right, here's the handoff, Green leaps the line, touchdown!
There were teams that won more games than Chicago, but none that won more hearts. 11 victories and a playoff spot. The Bears will be back in '92 armed with their loyal fans.
We'll never forget the way you drilled the nation with your deep formation.
The Chicago Bears, the navy blue and burnt orange, the monsters of the Midway, Chicago's pride and joy for 72 years. They're a team known as, well, you know.
A certain team known as... We do not need a rap song, my friend. We have the greatest song ever